So tonight, it's gonna be a special night. Everybody's so serious, but we're about to go to Club Love. Club Love! If you can't dance or you can't pop, you gotta stay at home. You know the Joker don't play that, baby. Welcome to Club Love. Hard.
What is this, P. Diddy in his final form? Don't be fooled, that's not him playing a character, that's just the man being himself. What's up, all you good people out there, and welcome back to the channel. For this episode today, we're gonna kick back and watch some TikToks that just might make you rethink reality. Now, fair warning, some of these TikToks might have you sitting back in your chair like, what is this? Whoa, what is going on right now?
If you look at who owns CNBC, who owns Fox, who owns CNN, at the top of the shareholder list, you have Vanguard and BlackRock. Now you look at the flight companies that banned all flights. No flights unless you're taken care of. Who are the top shareholders? Vanguard, BlackRock. You look at the food. Okay, who are the top shareholders of all this junk food? Vanguard and BlackRock. So it's this ecosystem of how to print butterflies out of thin air. So the media's controlled, the food is controlled, transportation is controlled. Oh, it's the same company as BlackRock. It's Vanguard. Profit-driven companies.
Ever wonder why America destroyed most of their covered bridges? Here's why. Covered bridges were designed to protect the wooden structure from the elements. This covering made them last longer. As technology advanced, materials like steel and concrete became more common. These materials were stronger and didn't need a cover to stay durable. Building and maintaining covered bridges was expensive. So in the early 20th century, America started phasing them out. Also, covered bridges could not keep up with the weight of modern traffic. The few that are left exist as historic landmarks.
Quit playing with us, man. We all know the real reason is because covered bridges are haunted.
One of my coworkers was telling me how the Gregorian calendar that we abide by now was actually invented by the church 500 years ago to suppress our natural rhythms and further take control over people's lives, and that the true new year is actually in the spring, not the dead of winter when we should be hibernating. And that's why so many New Year's resolutions end up dying by March, because that's when the new year is actually starting. And I haven't done any research on whether that's true because it just feels true, and I'm gonna roll with that. So if you want to continue hibernating with me, harvesting your energy and your dreams, we'll be ready to bloom by spring.
It's so true. We should be working with the seasons, not against them.
You remember yesterday when I made the video about Ashton Kutcher and said that he's possibly going to be one of the two that got called in to testify? Because Ariel almost never misses, do you think it's Ashton Kutcher? Because why would he say that otherwise, right? And then lo and behold, I wake up and this is the headline that I had. Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis look stressed as they go their separate ways amid Diddy scandal. This could end them. And they're saying this connection to Diddy could be more than Mila can handle. And like I said, the letters they wrote for Masterson, the fallout significantly affected their marriage and careers for several months. An old video of Ashton Kutcher has resurfaced amid Diddy's arrest. The actor laughs and jokes about Diddy's parties in the footage, stating, "There is a lot I can't tell." But like I said in the previous video to this one, Diddy's having a really hard come down in jail, and that could be the very thing that takes him out. So nothing ever comes to fruition. Be another J-ups. And I'm so sick of people saying, no, not Ashton. Ashton's a lot darker than what people think he is. A lot darker.
Oh, shit.
Get in the house.
Oh, shit.
Go, get up.
Your truck down?
Hearing the man scream everything's gone breaks my heart. Coming from someone who lives in North Carolina currently, yeah, let me tell you, that hurricane caused a lot of destruction. Yo, somehow I feel related to the one in the back. I love how he's just standing back there like, you go first, Bill.
Now, I don't like Candace Owens, but she makes some very good points here about the long-term effects of lithium and why Britney doesn't seem like the Britney that we remember.
Do you know anybody that's on lithium? Have you ever seen anybody that's been on lithium for a long time and what it does to their brain? There's a lot of conspiracies on the internet regarding Britney Spears. It's probably the most famous example of somebody that was forced put on lithium for years. People think that she's dead. People have put up all of these theories on TikTok. This is not the same Britney Spears. Look at her teeth, her spacing, her face has changed, her forehead looks different. You can find so many conspiracies of people that actually believe that the government has killed Britney Spears and that they've hired some other woman to act like her on her Instagram. This is what people believe. I know what I believe. I believe that Britney Spears is showing you what happens when you are put on lithium for a long time. People are just so stunned. They can't even fathom what has happened to her, and it's that simple. This is what happens to your brain when you are put on lithium. There is no pathway back, and that breaks my heart to say that, by the way. I'm not saying that to mock Britney Spears whatsoever. I think it is absolutely horrific that she was put on something as powerful as lithium for as long as she was put on lithium against her will. It is a crime that happened to her.
And yes, it was indeed a crime. Where is the justice?
All the customer service job cuts they did to replace people with AI are backfiring. Customer service has gotten so bad and call volume so high that companies are now charging you to speak to a real person. Take Verizon. If you want to pay your bill and you do so by calling the customer service line, they will charge you a $10 agent assistance fee. To take your money, they're charging you money. It's not just Verizon though. AT&T and T-Mobile do the exact same thing. But even when they don't charge, companies make it really difficult to get in touch with an actual human being. If you've been following any of the videos that I've done or any of the corporate firing trends over the past year or so, customer service departments have been the hardest hit. So you have this imbalance. As call volumes have skyrocketed, companies have made severe cuts to their call centers. So now companies are coming up with all kinds of methods, from exorbitant wait times to emails to FAQs to chatbots to suggestions that you should figure it out on your own, all in an attempt to make sure that you never talk to an actual person. This is leaving a trail of very frustrated customers, including, surprisingly, Gen Z. Though companies say that the younger generations don't want to actually reach someone on the phone, research shows that they actually do. So they're turning off a whole generation of newer consumers. Customer service is abysmal right now, and with all the cuts to actual humans, it's not going to start getting any better anytime soon.
Create the problem and then charge people to fix the problem. Like, what? This should be illegal. At this point, they're just knocking us over the head and taking our money.
Hollywood is going to die in the next 20 years because of that. What's always worked is great movies, and we're not doing that anymore.
What did change?
Streaming. 80s, great stories. 90s, great stories. Early 2000s, no more great stories, because the pipe went from here to here. They want the money. The machine of Hollywood wants the money, not the art, not the quality film like Jerry Maguire. They don't want that. They used to, but that generation's, those, that decade of those storytelling is gone. The next time a guy like comes along with a beautiful Jerry Maguire, they're gonna go, where's Barbie? Why can't the kid who's the son of the guy playing Jerry Maguire hold a Barbie? Because, we have certain paid advertisements, and if they click on the Barbie, look at all the MCU. Just Robert Downey Jr. now will go from being Iron Man to Mr. Dr. Doom. Isn't there somebody else that could play Dr. Doom, Patrick? I bet you there is, but the system feeds itself. They will tell the MCU audience, Robert Downey Jr. is the best Dr. Doom. And you know what they're going to do?
Yeah.
Instead of, hey, what about this unknown actor in this great film that won the Audience Choice Awards at the Sundance Film Festival, and it reflects all the wonderful stuff we thought about Jerry Maguire. You know what Hollywood's going to say to that? Kill him.
This is 2 years old. There's no mold on this whatsoever.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, we purchased this bread. On the weekend, we got engaged, and we kept it for a year. We did a year update, and we kept it for another year. So it is 2 years old.
Just sitting on a shelf in the garage, not in a fridge.
Not in the freezer, not in a fridge, in a hot garage. We have moved and brought this with us. 2-year-old bread.
Show me how soft it is. It's still soft.
Is it soft? Look at that.
All right, let's put it back in there.
Should we do a 3-year update?
We'll check back in next September.
I really feel like during the pandemic, they changed our food. I can no longer tolerate things I used to love eating, and bread being one of them, and especially cereal.
Most people that have sleep issues, they sleep like this. They'll lay down to go to sleep, and as their environment quiets, their mind will wake up. So their body tired, but mind awake. And so they'll lay there and they'll just think about the most innocuous little thoughts. Nothing that could wait till the next day. And sometimes it can drive you crazy if you start keying in on what you're thinking about, because you go, why am I thinking about my grocery list at 2:30 in the morning? This is crazy. And a lot of times people have a notepad on their nightstand to get thoughts out of their head, or they'll take notes in their phone at night to try to get thoughts out of their head. This is the same thing. These are excess neurotransmitters, catecholamines in the brain, and they're causing the brain to be in a awakened state. And when we begin to break these down at the rate they're meant to be broken down, the mind quiets. So when the environment quiets, the mind quiets. These are people that will say things like, I work really well under pressure. That's a typical saying from somebody who has this gene mutation.
And Murphy's father, Angelo Bertolotti, and family friend Julia Davis are joining us now from Los Angeles. To the both of you, thank you so much. I know this is difficult. I'm sorry for your loss. We appreciate you being with us because this is really shocking to a lot of people, hearing that you believe that she was poisoned. Mr. Bertolotti, why do you believe that? Why do you think that she was poisoned?
Well, it's very suspicious, and I read the reports on the toxicology reports, and everything sounds very, very, very more or less suspicious. And I feel she was poisoned. There's no question about that. And I feel she was murdered.
Brittany Murphy was such a beautiful woman taken out of this world way too soon. You know how devastated I was when I was a teenager and found out my celebrity crush passed away? It broke my heart in two.
The thing holding us in, it broke. And we're taking off right now. If we die... No, it's broken. It's not like... Did. Oh my god. Oh my god. We are literally holding on for dear life. This is... I'm gonna die. We're cooked. Okay, so, any last words? Jump. Hashtag free falling. Hashtag let's go.
Oh, hell no. That's some Final Destination 5 type ish right there. I'd be hopping off that thing and hitting up a lawyer immediately.
That's right.
Why do we have to come to you for our safety? Yep. Your job is literally to keep us safe. Period. That's your job. That is your job, bro.
This group is getting big. I will be able to address anybody's concerns individually at the moment.
These people feel unsafe. All these people feel unsafe. You guys feel unsafe out there?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
No. It's not fair. That's why this has come to this. It shouldn't have to come to this.
The general manager is not even here. He wasn't here on Sunday. Like, how can you explain that? It's a Tuesday. I get it, on Sunday you're with your family, but it's a Tuesday and this building is having a crisis.
You guys call yourselves leaders? Where's the leadership at?
Like, you should let people go home if they feel unsafe. I mean, there's all sorts of breathing issues that you don't necessarily know about what people's pre-existing conditions are, and people should have the option to VTO if they feel unsafe.
Right, are you going to prioritize people's safety over production? Are you ready to let the head count drop and VTO people?
And this is exactly why Bezos is putting robots in the warehouses. You really think Jeff Bezos cares about these people and if they feel safe? Nah, he don't. Man's probably drinking a margarita on a yacht somewhere just laughing.
Stop, because this is Jamie Lynn Spears' daughter now. They don't even look alike. I just thought this was some like random girl on TikTok when it popped up, but then Jamie Lynn Spears pops into the video. It's 100% giving mom. And if you haven't seen the clip, here it is.
Hi y'all, I'm Maddie, and this is my mom,
like,
Jamie
cool
Lynn.
athlete,
I'm trying
and
to
I
train
was like,
her for her celebrity game
Jamie
at
Lynn
ULM
Spears?
September 21st, and you're not gonna want to miss it. You're not.
The part where Jamie Lynn is like, you're not, I was like, oh my goodness, she's such a mom now. I mean, she's always been a mom, but it's really giving mom. I have never seen them interact through a video. Fans are saying this threw me for such a loop. I'm old for sure. I remember when they had her birth announcement on People magazine. Because if you're a little bit younger and you didn't know, magazines were the only way we found out things about celebrities. Because high-speed internet wasn't a thing. We had dial-up, and you had to be really sure and really careful of what you clicked because it took like 5 minutes for one page to load. This made me feel old. I remember watching her when I was a kid. Wasn't Jamie Lynn just bloated AF? Hold on. A lot of people remember Jamie Lynn's interview and her face looking a lot different. Maybe this is what the user was talking about when she was bloated, but then other angles made her look like this. But I mean, Jamie Lynn is giving mom and she's doing a celebrity event.
Flown out to Atlanta by a manager, just to meet with him and meet different producers and different people. I was actually going to meet Jermaine Dupri at his studio, and who rolls up? Usher and his Range Rover rolls up, and I was like, "Is that who I think it is?" And Scooter was like, "Yeah." And so I ran up to him and I was like, Usher, I love your songs. You want me to sing you one?" And he was like, let's just go inside, little buddy. It's cold out. The politest possible way he could say no. He did. A week later, he actually watched my videos with my manager and was like, "Oh my gosh, why didn't I let him sing?" So flew me back to Atlanta where I got to meet him again, and he wanted to sign me, but there was something else.
Justin Timberlake, right?
Yes, Justin Timberlake also wanted to sign me.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake really didn't put up much of a fight. Poor Justin Bieber. Usher knew exactly what he was getting Justin Bieber into. When I was growing up as a kid, I wanted to be just like Usher. So glad I changed my mind.
Hang on, what? What'd you just say?
I mean, you got the debt clock's about to restart on October 1st. Means Nasara and Jasara is gonna kick on. That means all the ports have to be shut down because all of their stuff runs off the internet, from navigation to everything else. They all got to switch over to the quantum QFS, quantum internet. They've all got to be switched over. They've all got to be shut down to switch over.
Okay, and this was just like a thought download just now.
Yeah, I was just sitting here thinking.
Okay.
That's the timeline I want to ride on.
And what did you just say?
Commented that goddamn fast.
Yeah, not on that. I didn't upload it. They were commenting on a different one. And what did you say about October the 7th?
All the schools and everything like that, all that shutting down.
Right. That was another comment. And then you said something about the government. Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
The shutdowns, yeah, of all the places. What was October the 6th or October the 7th? There was something else.
October the 3rd, Iraq's Independence Day.
That would make
they've been
sense
shooting
with
for RV.
a what?
Reevaluation of currency.
That would go hand in hand with everything.
Yeah.
for entertainment purposes only.
I have never felt more bamboozled in my life. You're telling me this is what grass-fed means? I'm thinking they're free, happy cows living off the land. But no, this is the reality. Like, literally everything is a lie. Everything. Here I am thinking I'm getting a better quality of meat and the animals weren't tortured for me to eat this. And it's the same thing.
Where's the lie? I mean, they're clearly eating grass. You thought these cows were special? What you talking about, Willis?
There are no natural disasters, and there never have been, because we live in an ecosystem. We live in a controlled environment. That means everything happening with the weather is controlled. It's all a creation through a system, and all of it has a purpose. And I can't help but to think the greatest cover-up of our civilization is the fact that the civilization before us were extremely advanced, and that was wiped out by a mud flood. The ground we see today is built on top of a civilization that is so far advanced that It was made, the architecture was made by humans of all different shapes and sizes. And this magnificent display of architecture is just hiding under our feet. Us learning about this truth would bring extreme revelations about just how veiled this experience really is that we're living in. There's been floods in many places in the world, like a lot. So if the people who control the weather wanted us to know about this, wouldn't that mean that the people who are in control of the weather now are on our side? Because if not, why would they be exposing this? I live in the Caribbean and we've been in an extreme drought for 4 years and now it's raining every single day. Right now it's raining every single day whenever it should be the driest month of the year. What do they want us to find with all of this water? Why so many hurricanes that are doing such crazy damage, literally unearthing so many places? Things are about to be exposed. Things are going to get really weird. And maybe that's why there's this fleet of aliens coming this way, because the upside down world that we're living in, that we've been living in the old earth, is turning right side up.
Why can't any broke or people unknown be in the Illuminati? Why is it all those
You gotta
that's
have
met
some kind of
that's
funds.
made it?
I'm sure there's, you know,
Do
club
you believe in
fees.
an Illuminati?
I jokingly believe in the Illuminati.
I sort of
Like, I feel like,
Really?
come on, guys.
Yeah,
It's gonna be out
to
there.
some degree.
Yeah.
There's definitely
You know, I've been
there's
accused of being in the Illuminati.
Really?
There's a lot of people out there that think every celebrity is part of the club, but yeah, we should all know that's not the case.
The problem with the Matrix is that it was purposefully designed so that you go to school and you think that everything's on the outside of yourself. So if you want to get a good job, you need to get good grades, you need to get a diploma. That's not true. That keeps you tied to the illusion, thinking that everything's on the outside of yourself. It keeps you tied to the programming that you need to work super hard and be like a little bitch with no time and barely live your life, which we don't want that. So whenever people ask me, oh my God, how am I supposed to make money after waking up? I don't want to work a Matrix job. I can't tell you exactly what that is, but all I can tell you is that you have an intuition, you have divine guidance available to you at every single moment. I have always followed my intuition, and I always say, I follow the breadcrumbs that my soul leaves for me, and I'm like, okay, I'm following you. I've always followed the little, maybe I want to let this go now. The problem is a lot of people cling on to fear because they're like, oh my God, I won't be provided for. If you have the deep-rooted belief that you are not provided for, that is one of the first things you need to assess if you're seeking financial freedom. You need to realize that literally all of your needs are always provided for. And you've only been trained to be scared, and you've only been trained to look at lack of abundance, but it's always there.
Taking yourself out of that matrix work system and gaining financial freedom is hard as hell, but don't give up. Trust me, if you work hard enough, one day you will achieve it.
Do you remember Marilyn Monroe being plus size? Yes, do you remember being told that she was a taller, plus size woman, and it was actually used to show you that size doesn't matter? It was just beauty and how you carry yourself and how you put yourself together. I remember that, and I remember being told that countless numbers of times, but apparently in this timeline she was tiny. She was actually like 5'2", 5'3", 116 to 117 pounds. That's what is being said. Here's her measurements that would put her in the actual extra small category. But I remember being told so many times that she was plus size and she was championed for being plus size. But now apparently she was a smaller woman, a very small woman. This is petite, 5'2", 5'3", 116 pounds. That's very small. So when did this change? When did she become a small petite woman and not a plus size model? I remember this. I remember being told this. I remember reading this. I remember quotes about it. I remember people talking about it. I don't remember her ever being a small petite woman, but maybe I'm tripping. I could be tripping. Let me know.
A lot of your favorite music artists aren't who you think they are. And I think the key word here is promoted. A lot of what you see are curated images to change how you feel about these people. And in the case of Dave Grohl, yeah, he wanted to look like this really nice guy. But let's talk about Diddy, Sean Combs. Not about being a nice guy so much as it is being successful and all these things that people all aspire to be. So we look at this guy and we think, wow, that's who I want to be. Man, it's all coming out now. He's just a criminal with money. Speaking from my experience in the music industry, I've firsthand seen things with artists treating people a certain way, and then, you know, when the cameras are on, it's a totally different person. Plan PR photo shoots, you know, to look a certain way, like with Dave Grohl feeding homeless people and firefighters. I don't know, it comes off a little fake now. Diddy's image has always been immaculate, but now that all these things are coming out, it really makes you rethink the people you look up to. Trust your instinct. Go with your gut. If your gut says, hey, something's not right about this, trust it. Animals have instinct. It keeps them alive. We just ignore it because we hope a situation is different. Never ignore your instinct. The case records around Diddy are now open, and I think we're going to start to see a lot more names of people that we've been holding on this pedestal kind of fall from grace. And I'm not saying I want that to happen. It's a real shame, but it's time to clean house.
Do you ever feel violent?
Yes, I do.
What do you feel like doing?
Killing people.
You still feel like killing people?
Yes.
Describe the feeling that you get when you feel like killing people.
Well, last March 11th, I was hallucinating, and I took a razor blade and I cut a man's throat.
Here in the hospital?
Here in the hospital.
Do you think you'd murder me, Joe?
Yes.
That's gruesome, Joe. That's horrible.
Yes, it is.
And you don't blame me if I say I hope you never get out of this place.
I hope I never do either.
Good golly, my man, drink a cup of water or some shit. Look at this, man. There's no humanity left in there. It's in the eyes, people, like they never lie.
So my oldest son is in public school, and he comes home and he asks me why his school has posters that say, "Why are condoms flavored?" Turns out his school has these posters everywhere, all throughout the building, and each poster has different questions on it. Questions such as, does size matter? Why are condoms flavored? Am I gay? What do I do if a condom breaks? So minor children can text this number and have a conversation with a grown adult about sex. Now, I haven't even got to dig through their actual website, but right away on the first page, this is what pops up. My body, my choice. They are basically insinuating that you should not listen to your parents. They are basically telling children, it's your body, you do whatever you want. You go have sex, you get your abortion, do whatever you want, your parents don't need to know. I'm sorry, but our job as parents is to tell our kids no. It's to direct them on the right path. It is not to say, yeah, do whatever you want. Our job is to teach our kids and to help guide them. The schools are trying to brainwash and indoctrinate our children to not listen to us.
Exactly why 3 million kids in America are now being homeschooled. If you can do it, I'd recommend keeping your kids far away from public school.
The Weeknd's concert in Sao Paulo was absolutely demonic. Look at the symbolism that is being shown throughout this video right here. This is truth in plain sight. These people have to constantly show you exactly what they are about over and over and over again. And The Weeknd is no different. He is showing you exactly what he is about. Truth in plain sight. I could delve into this a lot more, but I gotta be careful with what I can and can't say. So, shh. But you can see for yourselves what is going on. I mean, look, the one eye, the fire, the black and the red theme, among other things. This concert was absolutely demonic stuff, and it's just sickening how this stuff is out in the open. People need to wake up.
You guys probably do not know what I just found out today. So I have been on a health kick, and I am actually in the process of doing a cleanse, like a detox on myself. And what I learned today about parasites, because I personally have had an issue with a parasitic infection before, and I'm sure many of us have, but what I didn't know is that these parasites, these worms, they are actually very intelligent, and they evolve just like how us humans evolve. And if you have a parasite, especially if you have parasitic overload, you could literally take on the consciousness of these parasites. And you can, in turn, have a vampiric energy where you are leeching off of other people energetically just because you have parasites somewhere inside your body. And it just blew my mind. Like, on my channel, I talk about one particular parasite, and I know it seems all very mystical and it's hard for a lot of people to grasp, but this is happening at a lower degree to everyday people. Like, if you have parasites and if they have really gotten all over your body and in your brain and everything, you are literally, you know, at risk of adapting their personality and becoming a vampiric leech off of other people's energy. And it doesn't stop there. Like, you can actually take on the motives of the parasite and look at people like, oh, what can they do for me, or what can I take out of them? So I just wanted to share that with you guys because I thought it was fascinating. These parasites are literally like baby demons.
Man, I've actually been hungry for the last like 20 minutes, but after watching that, I just lost my appetite.
This we were just talking about this before the show started, about a music videotape that was stolen. Do you want to talk about that now?
Yeah.
Just break it down. What happened?
I mean, it was a videotape that we did in my house just for my private collection. You know what I mean? Snoop was a part of it.
They got it?
Somebody stole this tape from my house or something like that, and there's a lot of X-rated things on it, you know, so...
So, wait, let's see a second. Snoop, you don't know about this? Remember the tape? You're on it. It's gone.
Bueno?
It's gone. So what happened? You had a party? Someone, don't you? This is like the Tommy Pamela Lee thing. It's gone. Now it's going to be out.
It's worse than that, man.
So are we looking for it? Can we say anything? Anybody watching? Whoever was at Dre's house at that party, you better return that tape.
Please bring it back.
Oh my goodness. What do you plan on doing? Is it gonna get out? What are we gonna do?
I mean, if it gets out there, you know, so be it. I'm just letting everybody know, you know. It was out of my private collection. That's all. It wasn't meant to be out there like that.
All right, well, let's hope it gets returned in the mail. Let's go back to Dr. Dre 2001. You collaborate with a lot of people. Snoop's bugging right now. We're gonna be in commercial. Snoop's gonna be like, I can't believe the tape is gone.
Man, Snoop got that tape. Just look at his face. You can tell. What do you guys think is on that tape?
In the following video, two friends are goofing off inside an indoor playground at a time when no one else is around.
Shot me 3 times. Okay, where'd you go?
It's late at night, and the restaurant where the kids' play area is located isn't being occupied by children. So, with not much else to do, both friends rush over to the restaurant's playground to have some fun. However, it would be during this playful moment that something pretty creepy is caught on camera. The following is what they caught. Take a look.
Okay, this is my POV. Enjoy. This is what we have to get up to. This is really hard. I feel too big to do this. Do you feel out of breath and dying? Yeah. Wait, where'd you go, left or right? I went left. Which way do I go? I feel like I'm in Alice in Wonderland. Okay, she went that way. Freaky. Yours is brighter, mine's all dark. Okay. You guys, I can't do this. I feel like I keep bonking my head too. That's crazy. There's like actually down here. This is literally for human hamsters. Oh my god, someone bashed in this window. I feel like this is...
Neither friend had realized what was caught until much later, and the one recording this didn't hear anything while taking the video. The only voice heard was her friend's, who was somewhere far off in the jungle gym. The other voice was completely missed, but not by the camera's mic, as apparently a child's voice is captured.
Yours is brighter, mine's all dark.
It isn't clear as to what's being said or whispered, but it sounds like the babbling noise you'd hear from a young child. For this reason, viewers think that this might have been the ghost of a child who hasn't left the playground. If that's the case, then who knows what else happens at night when no one else is around? While it isn't exactly certain what was caught, both friends were creeped out by this clip. But unfortunately, like most videos, this one remains a mystery.
Nah, the chick crawling at the beginning almost gave me chills. Almost scared the crap out of me. And what is going on here? That orange cat was like, all right, bro, I'm not about to play these games. Hey, I must admit, the orange cat did a good job holding his own. He had his paw on him like, okay, bro, we are done. All right, my good people, that shall be a wrap for this one. Really hope you guys got a kick out of this episode. Before you roll out, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, let me know all your thoughts about this episode down there in that comment section. All right, my good people, take care out there, and I'll see you all in the next episode.